Okay, let's take a look at our yes, no, not given question. All right, and look at the strategy for the yes, no, not given question. A lot of students have trouble with the yes, no, not given question. A lot of students do. And the main reason why is that they don't understand how to do this specific type of question. They don't have a good understanding of how to recognize when it's yes, when it's no, when it's not given. A lot of students base this question on their opinion, and it's not really based on how you feel or your opinion when you're doing a yes, no, not given question. It's an English test, right? So what they're doing is they're testing your English. So it's important to understand how to do it. This is what a yes, no, not given question looks like. Sometimes they'll say true, false, not given, which means the same thing. Yes, no, not given, true, false, not given mean the same thing, okay? In terms of the yes, no, not given question, just like we've already seen with the fill in the blank question and the short answer question, the yes, no, not given question also goes in order. It always goes in order. All right. When I say a question goes in order, that means it always goes in order. So what we're talking about is that after number 2, you'll find number 3. After number 3, you'll find number 4, and so forth and so on. So if you know where number 2 and number 4 are, then you know number 3 is in the middle. Okay. Now, in terms of the yes, no, not given question strategy, the first thing we want to do is we want to examine the questions and quickly decide which ones are the easiest to do first. That's really important because that's going to make you more efficient. And that's also smart because you know the questions go in order. So, for example, when we're looking at some of these questions here, like number 22 would be easy to find because of Palagos Institute in 1998. Also, number 24 will be easy to find because of Rosemary Gales. So if we start with number 22 and we have Rosemary Gales right here for 24. We have Palagos Institute right here for number 22. Let's pretend as if 23 was just a basic question and didn't have Greece in it. If we know where 22 is and we know where 24 is, then we know number 23 is in the middle. All right? And we know that 25 and 26 are after 24. So it helps you in terms of lining up your questions. After you've discovered the order that you're going to use in terms of which ones are easiest to do first, you want to look at the question and then choose the keywords from the question. As you already know, these keywords are going to be your primary subject, object, and your verb. Pay attention to the names and dates and the other proper nouns. You want to take the easiest question first. Scan for the question keywords in the passage, right? And always keep in mind that you may have to be scanning for synonym language. Unless, of course, you have somebody's name or something like that, then you're not going to have to do that. And then the next step is that we have to be able to compare the two sentences. That's what you have to do. Compare the two sentences. There used to be a step 4, but we took that out. It was irrelevant. We have to compare the two sentences. That's what you're really doing with a yes, no, not given question. With a yes, no, not given question, what you're doing is you are comparing two sentences. That's what you're doing. Comparing two sentences. All right, so when we're talking about how to answer for a yes, no, not given question, it's very important to understand what are they testing? What are they asking you to do? You have to compare two sentences by looking at the subject, object, and what I call the limiting language. Limiting language means the adjective, adverbs, verbs. Extreme language means never, always, only, language like that. And what you're doing is you're comparing two sentences. You're comparing the language of two sentences, right? That's what you're doing here. That's what they're asking you to do because it's an English test. And this is a great way to test your English. Great way to test your English. For where you see where it says A, if the subject, object, and the limiting language are the same, then you will put true. So that means when you look at both sentences, when you compare both sentences, if the subject, object, and the limiting language are the same, they may use synonyms, but if they all have the same meaning, then you will put true. If the subject, object, or limiting language are different, changed, or opposite, then you will put false. Now, C, If the subject, object, or limiting language are missing, if they're missing, then you will put not given. Then you will put not given. If the subject, object, or limiting language are missing, you want to put not given. All right, that's how you recognize it. All right, the real initial test is, can you find the matching sentence quickly? That's the first thing, really. That's the first thing they really are testing, your scanning ability. IELTS reading comprehension is really about your ability to scan. In terms of the second most important thing is you have to recognize that you're comparing two sentences and you're checking the subject, object, and the limiting language to determine if things are yes, no, or not given, or true, false, or not given. Some of the key points to understand, as I said earlier, this question is all about sentence comparison. Sentence comparison, the meaning of the sentence, not how you feel, not your opinion, the exact meaning of the words themselves, because it's an English test. Okay? Very important to understand. So, that's our basic strategy for doing a yes, no, not given question. The next thing we're going to do in the next lecture is I'm going to go through I'm going to go through it in terms of how to really answer a yes, no, not given question by giving you a lot of examples. And then after that, we're going to go through maybe 3 reading passages with the yes, no, not given question. So these next videos are really, really important to watch if you really want to understand and know how to do the yes, no, not given question for the IELTS exam. So I'll be talking to you very soon.